Today we're going to be chit-chatting about the race controller from the Dreamcast. And yup, we already made a video about a racing wheel and we did some revisiting of some really cool old school Sega Dreamcast Rally games. Today we're going to be checking something else, where this thing looks similar to the one we've reviewed. This one has been improved. So let's plug in an VMU over here. And let's take a close look at the improved Sega Dreamcast wheel with a minor modification that makes absolutely a world of difference when it comes to that. So let's go! Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in, because in this video we are going to be doing a chit chat regarding racing wheels. At the left we're finding the improved version, where when you're going to be looking both of them side by side, you don't see a lot of difference. This thing does have some little bit more wear and tear to it, which is quite unfortunate, because this thing is absolutely pristine condition and comes with the original box. But if you're going to be looking further and we're going to be turning it around, yeah, we can already see a minor difference over here. This is, I'm thinking, have to do somebody put it on there, or maybe this is just in a different region. That's something I would wonder. Let me know in the comments. Beside that, there's actually like the same similar wheel, but in the inside, there we're going to be finding the biggest difference when it comes to that. So the left one, you can see that this thing is missing some rubber pads, and that has to do because this thing already has been disassembled. So it's interesting that this thing does have like an other code over here. This one says 015AC and this one says 927AC. What it exactly means I don't know, because when it comes to the model number, both are the HKT 7430. But let's open it up. It's kind of funny to showcase what is inside, because the technology is always slightly different when it comes to racing wheels. To begin with, when you can see the mechanism over here, what actually gives the tension are just these elastic ropes. That's the only thing. No springs, or we have seen with Mad Cat and other thing. Over here we're having the communication from the wheel to actually the controller board. But in here we're finding the big difference. So this is the Ben Rivis, if I'm pronouncing his name, 2022. This is a PCB that you're going to be having the option to buy. And this will actually fix the dead zone. Yep, over here it already said Dreamcast race controller, the dead zone. And this is one of the improvements that has been implemented to the wheel, making this the ultimate Sega Dreamcast wheel, with not of like the dead zone shenanigans, but some of the games were freaking unplayable. But let's do a quick tour of the racing wheel itself. This thing is full plastic fantastic when it comes to, let's say, the build quality. It's not like the fancy stuff that we've seen with Logitech, of course. So there is nothing, let's say, exciting going on when it comes to the overall quality. However, when you're going to be feeling the racing wheel, we're on the inside, we're having this spring configuration, meaning that there is a lot of tension when you're going to be trying to turn. And yeah, when it comes to rotation, this is some really old school stuff. Yeah, because this is not like a massive 900 degrees rotation when it comes to that. So it does utilize the memory card over here, or the VMU. So what we have over here, so what we can actually do, remove this from the controller. I will try to do this with one hand, and we can just slide it in over there. And this way we can actually like see what kind of game, and of course it's going on, and the display will light up and we can save our games. So one of the cooler features that we actually having some flippers, or some kind of flippers. It's more like a trigger configuration. There is no pedal, as you can see over here, so highly possible we're going to be needing to accelerate with these things at the back. And at the front we're having just the normal, let's say the AB over here, the X and the Y, and in the middle we're having the start. For the camera, okay, how do I need to accelerate? Yep, the back buttons, or the... We don't have pedals, so we're going to be doing it like that. So the unfortunate part is that we do have a massive delay in this. Let's see, it's not like super bad, but it's absolutely noticeable. Yeah, there we go. I know there's a steering wheel out there that has absolutely that option, or actually like that has been fixed when it comes to the dead zone situation. I must say that like super bad that you actually needing to use the pedals on the wheel. That is something I personally never really experienced, because I was always playing with those Mad Cat racing wheels. Alright, so let's see how this works. And indeed, the dead zone is gone. Oh, that is just amazing. I think I was playing with, let's say, Wipeout on the PlayStation. I can still remember that one of those few games that had like full potential, let's say, the steering wheel with no dead zone, or at least minimum that we can actually enjoy the game. But the Sega Rally game was completely unplayable with the original wheel without the fix. I'm just going to be honest, I don't know exactly how expensive this let's say, upgrade is, because I purchased the wheel as is. But this is indeed a lot of fun. Because you need to have like fast reaction when it comes to rally games. So if you're going to be a big fan of the Dreamcast and the racing games, I think this would be an interesting option to actually go for. Oh, not that it's going to be helping my freaking driving skills, because that I still suck about that, but Tokyo Highway Challenge. I'm also really curious what's going on. We have the SP battle. So also with this game we don't need any extra controllers. Let's do a demo car. But you're going to be using the wheel. You can see this is actually the dead zone. And then actually going to be switching. So, but the overall design, where this thing is made out of full plastic, the wheel does have a little bit of wiggle, but not that much. So the overall quality is quite nice when it comes to that. So I never experienced it back in the day, but this is such a fun overall racing experience. But let's get into the next game. Let's see this, because the racing with a wheel and the rally is next level. I actually started, in my opinion, with the most difficult wheel, or actually game to play with a wheel. Same story, only going to be needing the triggers at the wheel. Yeah, this is relaxing. But when it comes to playing, see, this is the dead zone. Yep. Okay. Tokyo Highway Challenge. I must say now, with this different wheel, or this improved wheel, I'm very curious how this will play. And the reason why, because the cars are just reacting so strangely to my wheel itself, like they're floating or some kind. And that's what I find always so interesting with the racing games. Every single game has their own way or engine, making it such a different experience. Where Sega Rally was more like an arcade racer, we have a lot of benefit when it comes to the racing wheel itself. This is such a different experience. You can see like it's very sensitive now. Well, beside that, there's a lot of fun. Absolutely. Okay. So what I actually wanted to do with this is just muting this freaking music. I don't know if it's copyrighted, otherwise YouTube goes crazy with it. But so where this is not like the superb racing wheel, or where all the stuff I've actually reviewed on the channel of retro systems. Think about PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn. This is such a fun experience, you know. It's really enjoyable. And yeah, the Metropolis Street Racer, I dig this game. Yeah, I think this is going to be maybe in my top 5 of racing games for playing on the Sega Dreamcast. Getting the hang of it, man. Getting the hang of it. But let's try the Metropolis Street Racer with this improved wheel. Because with the, let's say, the one with the dead zone, I must say that it was still playable. I must say you need to get used to the dead zone. But now with having this particular game and a better racing wheel, no dead zone, this is going to be so much more fun. Oh yeah. So if you just have an original racing wheel, not the improvement, and you just want to play some Metropolis Street Racer, you can just do that just fine, or at least you can get used to the dead zone. But this is of course so much more fun. There's no pedals with this thing. It's kind of interesting that it went for this. I completely understand, because this is just an easy plug and play solution, and the back triggers on the wheel are not really annoying. I can still remember having those mad cats like the old school wheels on PlayStation, where you have these buttons, but the triggers they're using on this wheel are very comfortable, so making this an absolutely fun and pleasant experience. Oh, I always need to get used to having the brakes and acceleration on the wheel. But let's get into some Ferrari racing with the F355 Challenge. Oh, I really love the visuals, the effects actually when it comes to that. But well, I do notice that where the dead zone is there with every single game, it also really depends what kind of game you're playing. Where I find Sega Rally quite difficult to play because it's a rally game. But when it comes to this particular racing game, I think it's not a big deal. You know, you can actually see that it's going to be working quite nice. And we can actually see the hands. See, it's really minor when it comes to that. And Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay. Can I change my view? No. There was no way of changing my view, right? Okay, but besides that, yeah, this is absolutely cool. Well, this is a very cool game, actually a fun game to play. I think at this point, Metropolis Street Racer is still one of my favorite ones. Yeah, and again, let me know in the comments what kind of games do you love to play on the Dreamcast, particularly when it comes to racing. But let's just get into the F355 challenges with some Ferrari. I would say there was the same situation of the Metropolis and the older wheel, but this is, oh man, this is indeed so much better now. Oh yes. And the thing with these semi-racing simulation games, you're going to be having so much more, let's say, overall experience and fun with these racing wheels when you're having no dead zone. I think it was like the biggest general problem when it comes to, let's say, playing games back in the day. Having all kinds of racing wheels on the PlayStation and 64 and always like the same shenanigans, that a lot of racing games in my collection were freaking unplayable. We needed these upgrades back in the day, or they just needed to make something that was just actually working perfectly. Never really understood why. Like why all they had like these crazy dead zones were making most games freaking unplayable. So let's move on to the 18-wheeler, another fun game to just play.
You're new, aren't you? If you got any problems, just call out. I'll give you a hand. Your destination for this job is Key West. Make sure you get there on time.
Now loading. Yes, man. Okay, that's how we switch. Oh. Can we switch to, yeah, the different view? And this is just a relaxing game in my opinion, so the same when it comes actually to playing the game within that zone. It's not a big of a deal when it comes to that. What a crazy game this is. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, I did make it. Crazy game. So with the 18-wheeler game, this is just a cool arcade board. Oh yeah, I'm getting on time with my improved racing wheel. Yeah. No, but when it comes to a particular game like this, I did have some problems with the input, but I'm just going to be honest is that I find it not really annoying when the older wheel had this, let's say, input delay craziness. I'm always messing with my freaking... Is this the only viewing angle we're having? Yep. But of course this is so much better now with a simple reason, because we can just steer more directly. Even with arcade games, you will notice this fairly easy now. This makes the game absolutely more playable. I always found this a really cool game, playing this in the arcades. So this was absolutely a blast to the past, but with such a better overall experience. This is just the way how you're going to be needing to play the racing game with not a dead zone at all. Where the original wheel is fun, I would really recommend just buying this upgrade and getting yourself the ultimate racing experience. Doesn't really matter which game you're going to be playing. If you're having like the Ferrari game, I think this particular game, the Metropolis Street Racer, was still kind of playable with the original wheel. But if you're going to be deep diving into some Sega Rally, oh man, this was unplayable with the original wheel. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this improvement. Would you consider it? Let me know in the comments, and it would be great to see you in the next video.